Okay, so get this. Imagine like a swarm of robots, right? Like little ant robots crawling through like rubble after an earthquake to
Whoa.
like find survivors. I mean, that is the kind of tech that we're going to be looking at today.
Yeah.
It's bio-inspired robotics,
Mm-hmm.
specifically robots that are inspired by insects.
Right.
We got some cool stuff here from the STEM Spotlight podcast.
Yeah.
And it's not just sci-fi anymore.
Definitely not. It's really incredible what they're doing now. It's not about, just making robots look like bugs. It's
Yeah.
more about understanding how evolution has kind of solved these problems that we're facing.
Yeah, like nature has already done all the research and development, and we're just kind of
taking notes.
taking notes.
Yeah.
The article mentions geckos clinging to walls and fish navigating currents. But it really blew my mind.
What's that?
How flies land on the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, how do they do that?
Yeah, I mean,
And it turns out that is a huge challenge for roboticists to replicate.
it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not just flies,
Right.
there's a team over at the Caltech Biomechanics Institute.
Oh, wow.
You might have read about them in Wired recently.
Yeah.
They're building these robots that are based on insect movement,
Mm-hmm.
focusing on, environments that are dangerous, like a collapsed building or totally inaccessible,
Right.
like pipelines that are deep underground.
So what is it about the way insects move?
Well, they're just so agile,
Right.
Just think about a cockroach squeezing through a crack.
Oh, God, yeah.
But they're also adaptable,
Okay.
so many different terrains, and they do all this while being incredibly energy efficient.
Right.
So you can imagine if you replicate these traits in robots. I mean, it just opens up so many possibilities.
Absolutely.
We're talking about search and rescue, infrastructure inspection, things that can really,
Things that affect us.
Exactly. Yeah, affect our lives.
This is where it gets really cool, though. The source was talking about how complex it is to copy the way an insect moves.
Yeah.
I mean, is it just about building a robot that looks like a bug?
No, not at all. I mean, think about a dragonfly's wings,
Mm-hmm.
the way they move to hover and dart around.
Right.
Or an ant,
Yeah.
lifting many times its own weight.
Yeah.
It's about the mechanics, right? We have to understand their joints, the muscles, the sensory systems,
Yeah.
how these things all work together. And that's where biomechanics comes in.
Okay.
Biomechanics is basically, it's the study of how living things move.
So you're telling me we need to understand evolution
Yeah.
to build better robots?
Pretty much. By
Yeah.
studying how insects have evolved to be so efficient,
Right.
we can kind of unlock these secrets that can really revolutionize engineering. It's like nature is giving us a blueprint.
This could have huge implications.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, think about healthcare.
Yeah.
Imagine like tiny insect-inspired robots that are assisting with really delicate surgeries, reaching parts of the body that traditional tools just can't get to.
Yeah. Or environmental monitoring. Imagine like swarms of robots, modeled after bees
Wow.
that are out there, pollinating crops
Oh,
or collecting data on air quality.
that's amazing.
I know. I mean, the potential applications are just mind-blowing.
And it goes beyond just building robots.
It does, yeah.
It's about understanding movement
Right.
in a way that we can apply to other fields.
Exactly. Like
Right.
prosthetics, exoskeletons,
Yeah.
even new materials inspired by insect exoskeletons.
So bio-inspired robotics is about biology and engineering
Yes,
kind of coming together.
exactly. Working hand in hand to create some pretty amazing tech.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder,
Yeah.
what other animals
Right.
could inspire robot designs?
Absolutely. What challenges might those robots help us overcome in the future? I mean, you can imagine, a robot that moves like an octopus, with that flexibility and dexterity
Wow.
used for underwater exploration.
Or even those delicate surgeries we were talking about.
Yeah.
Or like a cheetah-inspired robot,
Oh, wow.
all about speed and agility, assisting in search and rescue
Yeah.
in those challenging terrains.
That's definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
What animal would you turn into a robot?
Right.
This deep dive is really just a taste of what's out there.
It's-
There's so much information online.
Absolutely.
Robotics clubs, DIY robot kits. I mean,
Yeah,
who knows? Maybe you'll be the one designing the next generation of bio-inspired robots.
that's right.
So keep those imaginations buzzing.
Absolutely.